Namaste, welcome, and aloha. Welcome to this comprehensive overview of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the crown jewel of Vedic literature and the ripened fruit of the wish-fulfilling tree of Vedic knowledge. In this presentation, we will explore the complete structure and teachings of this magnificent scripture, understanding its unique position among all Vedic texts and discovering how its timeless wisdom applies to our modern lives. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, also known as the Bhāgavata Purāṇa, consists of 18,000 verses organized into 12 cantos. It was composed by Srila Vyasadeva, who is considered the literary incarnation of God himself. Let us now look at the overall synopsis of Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam presents the science of the absolute truth in its most complete and accessible form. It establishes Lord Sri Krishna, Supreme Being, or others refer as God, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and reveals the path of pure devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, as the highest perfection of human life. The scripture begins with fundamental questions about life's purpose, posed by sages in the sacred forest of Naimisharanya. These are the same questions that thoughtful people ask today. What is the meaning of life? What should we do with our limited time? How can we find lasting happiness? From this foundation, the Bhagavatam progresses through detailed accounts of cosmic creation and the activities of great devotees throughout history. Finally, it concludes with predictions for the age of Kali and the ultimate means of deliverance, the chanting of the holy names of God. Unlike other Vedic texts that primarily focus on ritualistic duties or philosophical speculation, the Bhagavatam synthesizes all Vedic knowledge into a unified science of God realization. Now, let us look at 5 key themes of Bhagavatam. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam encompasses several profound and interconnected themes. First, it establishes the supremacy of Lord Krishna, Supreme Being, or others refer as God, as the source of all incarnations and the ultimate object of worship. Second, it presents Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, as the most direct and effective means of spiritual realization, accessible to all regardless of social position or qualification. Third, it provides systematic explanations of cosmic creation, maintenance, and dissolution, revealing the intricate workings of both the material and spiritual worlds. Fourth, it narrates the lives and teachings of great devotees and incarnations throughout history, offering us role models and inspiration for our own spiritual journey. Fifth, it describes the nature of the soul's journey through various species and its ultimate return to the spiritual realm. And finally, it addresses the characteristics and challenges of the 4 yugas or ages, particularly our current age of Kali, and prescribes the appropriate spiritual practices for this time. Now, let us look at the core teaching. The core teaching of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is beautifully encapsulated in its opening verse. This Bhāgavata Purāṇa is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, and so on. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. The Bhagavatam teaches that all living entities are eternal spiritual souls temporarily covered by material bodies. Our natural constitutional position is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. We can say that Bhagavatam is the superset of Vedic literature. Now, let us understand the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam's unique position as the natural culmination and synthesis of all Vedic knowledge. The Vedic literature forms a vast body of wisdom. It includes the four Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. The Upanishads, which present philosophical conclusions. The Vedanta Sutra, containing concise aphorisms of Vedic philosophy. The great epics Mahabharata and Ramayana. And the 18 Puranas, or ancient histories. Each of these texts serves a specific purpose. The Vedas primarily prescribe ritualistic duties for material and spiritual advancement. The Upanishads focus on philosophical inquiry into the nature of Brahman, the absolute truth. But the Bhagavatam goes beyond both. It reveals the personal feature of the absolute truth and the process of bhakti yoga. Here is the remarkable story. Vyasadeva himself, after compiling all Vedic literature, felt dissatisfied. Something was missing. His spiritual master, Narada Muni, instructed him to compose the Bhagavatam as the natural commentary on his own Vedanta Sutra. The Bhagavatam thus represents the postgraduate study of Vedic knowledge. It assumes familiarity with Vedic concepts, but elevates the reader to the highest understanding. It harmonizes three paths: karma, the path of action; jnana, the path of knowledge; bhakti, the path of devotion. And it demonstrates that pure devotional service is the ultimate goal toward which all other Vedic processes point. The Bhagavatam's first verse declares it to be the spotless Purana, free from material motives. Its final instruction emphasizes that the essence of all Vedic knowledge is to surrender unto the Supreme Lord. In this way, the Bhagavatam serves as the complete encyclopedia of spiritual science, containing the conclusions of all Vedic wisdom in a form accessible to sincere seekers in the age of Kali. Now, let us look at modern scientific parallel. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam's comprehensive approach to understanding reality remarkably parallels modern science's quest for a unified theory. Just as contemporary physics seeks to reconcile quantum mechanics with general relativity through theories like string theory, the Bhagavatam presents a unified framework that harmonizes the material and spiritual dimensions of existence. Now consider these fascinating parallels. The text's detailed descriptions of cosmic architecture, including multiple planetary systems and dimensions, parallel modern cosmology's understanding of a vast, multi-layered universe. The Bhagavatam's explanation of time as relative, depending on one's position in the universe, anticipates Einstein's theory of relativity by thousands of years. Its account of the soul's transmigration through 8,400,000 species reflects an understanding of biological diversity and evolution, though from a spiritual rather than purely material perspective. The text's emphasis on consciousness as fundamental to reality resonates with quantum physics' observer effect and addresses what neuroscientists call the hard problem of consciousness. Most significantly, the Bhagavatam's methodology, combining theoretical knowledge with practical experimentation through spiritual practice to achieve direct realization, mirrors the scientific method itself. This makes the Bhagavatam a truly scientific approach to understanding the ultimate nature of reality. Now let us look at some practical application. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is not merely theoretical knowledge, it provides practical guidance for navigating modern life while pursuing spiritual perfection. The text teaches the importance of sadhu sangha, association with spiritually advanced persons. Yes. In our age of isolation and digital superficiality, this reminds us of the value of authentic spiritual community. It offers a framework for understanding life's challenges as opportunities for spiritual growth and for seeing all living beings as spiritual souls deserving of respect and compassion. Most importantly, it provides hope and direction in an age characterized by confusion and degradation, assuring us that spiritual perfection is accessible to anyone who sincerely takes up the process of bhakti yoga. Bhagavatam for young people. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam speaks directly to the aspirations and challenges of youth in the modern world. The Bhagavatam addresses fundamental questions that arise in youth. Who am I? What is my purpose? How should I live? It offers an alternative to the superficial values of consumer culture, presenting a vision of life centered on self-realization, service, and love. The text encourages young people to use their energy, intelligence, and idealism in the service of the highest truth rather than squandering these precious assets in temporary pursuits. Youth is the ideal time to build a strong spiritual foundation that will sustain one throughout life's journey. Bhagavatam for the older generation. For those in the later stages of life, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam offers both urgency and reassurance. The example of Maharaja Parikshit is particularly relevant. He had only 7 days to prepare for death, yet achieved complete liberation. This demonstrates that it is never too late to turn one's attention to spiritual matters. The Bhagavatam teaches that the consciousness we cultivate at the time of death determines our next destination. This makes spiritual preparation the most important task of one's remaining years. The older generation is called upon to share the wisdom of the Bhagavatam with younger people, just as Shukadeva Goswami shared it with Pariksit and the assembled sages. The text offers comfort in the face of aging, illness, and mortality by revealing the eternal nature of the soul and the loving reciprocation of the Supreme Lord with His devotees. Let us now briefly survey the complete structure of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The scripture consists of 12 cantos with approximately 335 chapters and 18,000 verses. Cantos 1 through 6 lay the foundation. Canto 1 introduces the Bhagavatam and establishes Krishna's supreme being, or others refer as God supremacy. Canto 2 describes the cosmic manifestation. Canto 3 details the creation and presents Kapila's Sankhya philosophy. Canto 4 narrates stories of great devotees like Dhruva and Prithu. Canto 5 describes the universe's structure and Jata Bharata's teachings. Canto 6 presents Ajamila's deliverance and Vritrasura's devotion. Cantos 7 through 12 bring the teachings to culmination. Canto 7 narrates Prahlada's pure devotion and Nrsimhadeva's appearance. Canto 8 describes the churning of the ocean and Vamanadeva's pastimes. Canto 9 presents royal dynasties and Ramachandra's activities. Canto 10, the longest and most important, describes Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavana, the very heart of the Bhagavatam. Canto 11 contains the Uddhava Gita and Krishna's final instructions. Canto 12 concludes with predictions for Kali Yuga and the Bhagavatam's glories. As the Bhagavatam itself declares, it is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam stands as humanity's greatest treasure, a complete science of self-realization, a guidebook for the soul's journey back to God, and the ripened fruit of all Vedic wisdom. In an age characterized by confusion, anxiety, and spiritual darkness, the Bhagavatam shines like the sun, illuminating the path to eternal happiness and love. Whether you are young or old, a beginner or advanced seeker, the Bhagavatam has something profound to offer you. We invite you to embark on the study of this magnificent scripture. Begin with a few verses each day, or keep tuned to this channel as I will walk through all the verses one by one. Approach it with an open heart and a sincere desire for truth. Thank you, Namaste, and Mahalo for joining me in this overview of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge. Next, we will start with an introduction to first canto, followed by different verses of each of the 19 chapters of Canto 1.